Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and call this work session to order. And it is a very informal meeting for mostly the county commissioners and our staff. But we're going to go real quick through the department updates. And Mr. Jones, go ahead, sir, with recreation.
All right, so still got basketball registration going on right now. Early registration will be going through October the 13th. And then starting October the 14th to the 16th, we'll have late registration. We'll add $10 onto that. And then after that, we'll be doing skills evaluation, the draft, and then getting ready for the upcoming season.
Okay.
Should be starting playing around the 1st of December.
Right. Everything all right down at the rec center, heating and air conditioning system, any problem with the fields, any equipment
We
issues?
just need rain.
Yeah, well, rain.
Mark on your calendars the ETC luncheon, October the 24th at the rec center. I think it's typically from 12 to 2.
October the 24th?
Yes, sir. Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, typically.
That don't seem like that long. What time? They don't
Usually 12 to 2. You can
Okay,
get there earlier.
11:30 to 2?
Yeah.
Both now.
Something we've been working on, me and staff, we've got some informal rules and stuff as far as the park goes. We don't have anything actually saying it. And so we have not created this as far as a sign, but this is just typical stuff. Park hours being the biggest one.
We still having issues with adult individuals
Yes.
parking on the back side of the property?
Not so much that, but we've had an issue with parents dropping kids off, like 12 and 13 years old, and just roaming the park. We've been having to call the sheriff's office to come out there and sometimes trespass them, get their parents to come pick them up. And the thing we get every time is, we don't see it in writing. It's in the gymnasiums, but it's not actually in the park. So we've come up with some just boilerplate stuff as far as like, alcohol, tobacco, glass containers, no smoking. So we submit this to y'all, take a look at it.
Add vaping to this.
Vaping's on there.
It's on here.
Yeah, under
Oh, I'm
prohibited,
sorry.
alcohol, tobacco, marijuana, smoking, and vaping. Take a look at it. If you have some corrections we wanted to fill, take a look at it as well. See if there's anything you want us to add. But we're still just playing around with the.
Who put that in there that says no attorneys allowed?
We just want some good basic rules and regulations that way, it's like calling 911 for emergencies, just simple stuff like that. We'd like to get around 4 signs made, one as you're coming in, towards the community center, then probably 1 closer to the soccer field, and then 2 over around the playground and the baseball fields area. Pretty good size, that way you can read the lettering. And then that way, if we have to, trespass somebody, they can't say that they didn't know because it'll be right there on the board.
Okay.
So,
We'll all review it and we can act upon it next,
just take a look at it. If you have any more changes you want to see on there, just let us know. We'll be happy to make them. This is just like the first draft of it.
you having any issues with the building, with the floors, with the
No, we
cleaning?
actually got all the VCT tile re-waxed a couple of weeks ago. Everything's looking good, ready for basketball season. AC units.
How's your grounds holding up with the soccer fields with all this dry weather? Are you gonna try to put water on them? What are you gonna try to do?
We could, we need rain. The amount of water we would need to put on those would be astronomical. Because they were so dry. We definitely need some rain.
Ryan, do you ever see a need for the pickleball courts, some outdoor pickleball courts?
No, it's not a bad idea. The city of Jasper has actually, the same group who plays with us has gotten with the city of Jasper, and I think they have made some pickleball courts up there where the tennis courts are at. So they but everybody who comes and plays with us, they play with us for a reason, because we're indoors and have air conditioning.
Air conditioning?
Yeah, so, and then in the wintertime, we have heat.
Yeah.
So they really like being indoors. We're one of the few pickleball courts that are actually indoors. So I can see them wanting to stay inside.
And adults normally use that at the time that the kids are in school, so it's not
Correct.
conflicting with.
We usually start pickleball around 10, it usually lasts from 10 to 2,
Oh, okay.
almost every single day though, so it does stay busy. But take a look at that. if y'all have any questions, I need to get out of here. We got stop the bleed training going on at the rec center right now.
Who's all involved with that?
Us, Boys and Girls Club, Sheriff's Department's put it on, so we're getting some training.
When are you looking at CPR training anytime soon?
That's all part of this right here.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
we're getting a refresher on that as well.
All right. Look over your budget calendar. Be sure you get your dates on there. And Lisa, I'm sure, will be sending it out on email form to all the other department heads and elected officials on the budget calendars for have budgets here. And like they said earlier, they will be in the paper and posted on our website.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right.
Thank y'all very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Anything, by the way, before we get going, I know we got Marble Festival this weekend, starting Friday evening. You got any issues with Marble Festival?
No issues. We actually opened the park to the people who do that bring the vegetables and stuff. They actually use the pavilion.
Yeah.
We give it to them. So it actually works out. Plus with them moving it further up the road, Camp Road and Refuge Road's wide open. So
And I think the parade is just supposed to come from town up to Little Avenue and turn around and go back and not block the whole subdivision back in there.
Yeah.
So like they did last year, worked out very well.
It worked out very well.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, Kim, you got with the road department, how's things batting out there?
A little update on paving. We completed the resurfacing of Henley Road up off Grandview Road, from Grandview Road to the back gate of the tree. Got that completed, and we also done all the repairs on Grandview Road where it was needed. There were some pretty bad areas we had to resurface there, and we got all that taken care of. We resurfaced 2 miles of Monument Road, the tar and gravel
Tar and
section.
gravel.
Yeah, we got those 2 miles resealed and surfaced, and also we done about a quarter mile off Bessie Lane down on Ray Mountain Road. And we're gonna be paving Old Whitestone Road East tomorrow, and that's up off 515.
They're gonna shut that recycling center down, or what do you call it?
The inner landfill.
Yeah,
The owners agreed to shut the landfill down tomorrow while we're paving, so we won't have all the trucks coming in and out
Okay.
there. Hope to get that finished tomorrow. We also done some repairs on McLean Mountain Road and Hidden Creek Road, and we'll be getting those patched back in as soon as possible.
All right.
And then we've got a few other areas where we put some pipes in and things, and we're gonna try to get all those patched before winter time. I think John was telling the city of Matthews is doing phase 2 of our paving contract, and they're gonna start next Monday. So,
Let's start Family Acres.
yeah, we're gonna start doing
Have you got a list there right quick, just give us an overview of what road you're gonna start, have you got that timeline?
Not with me.
Okay, well, that's okay.
They're gonna start Monday, and I think they're gonna start down around Family Acres, and then they're gonna move east. So they're doing Family Acres,
Black
Black Knob,
Ludlow Road,
Ludlow.
Kenneth Road, and work their way back to, then eventually we'll be doing Pleasant Hill Road, Hill Circle, J. Moss Lane, Willow Lane,
Roper Road.
and Roper Road, yeah.
and y'all are starting to put some preliminary lists together for next year's paving
23,
contracts?
Yep.
Okay,
Tar and gravel as well as road skip to submit for the LMIG.
okay. How much money we gonna get for LMIG, you got any idea?
From the state, $628,000.
That's less than 10 miles.
Yes.
SPLOST has been handy on that, we was able to get a lot of roads paved for SPLOST, and the new one's got that listed. Anything else you got, Kim?
That's about it, other general maintenance. Got an issue with the hydro seeder, and we're working on that, getting the parts ordered for it.
All right, Reynolds Warren, that thing come from Reynolds Warren, you looking at, you already got the parts ordered?
We're in the process of ordering parts.
Okay, when do you think it'll be up and going?
Hopefully first next week.
Because Rodney's gonna check to see about if they've got that silk fencing put back up at the fire station here in a few minutes. And, supposed to be having that done, because hopefully in praying we'll have some rain next week. I want to be sure everything is laid to rest. Y'all get any other questions for Kim at this time?
No.
All right. Rodney, planning and development?
Our new software program is up and running. It started as of October the 1st, that we've switched over to it, and we're just working out a few minor things that are different from the old program and then making adjustments to it. The vendor has been extremely helpful in adjusting, making things how we need it done, how we feel comfortable with it, but it's up and running. As far as the census goes, I'm down to less than about 85 addresses. They had a subset of the program in which you can add new building permits if they came in from, I believe, the 1st of last year through like September 15th of this year. And then you have to go in there and pinpoint them on their map, show them where they're at, and then they will be added to the census list.
Well, now the 85 addresses you got that aren't matching up with the census over the total 19,000 parcels that we got, is there a percentage where they're not gonna keep focusing on that, we can proceed on, or we gonna have to hold up everything and wait for?
No, what we've done, this is just all new building permits that have been issued in the last year and a half.
Oh, okay,
They're
okay.
adding it to the list. We've already gone through and filtered out all the ones that they had questions about. I cross-checked them against our information, and the majority of them, I think it was less than 20 out of 3,200 addresses were problematic. So I've been dealing with census people on that. The new addresses, there were about 285.
When are they going to start actually knocking on doors? You got any idea?
They're trying their dead level best not to. They're wanting to do it online.
Oh, that's gonna work well.
What they're trying very hard to do is do it online. You can, this year, or this time around, do it on your phone, do it on a computer or something like that. They're trying to keep personnel from actually having to step foot on somebody's property. So,
How accurate is that gonna be? I had to go there.
about a year after we find out. And the only other thing going is, so far, knock on wood, of course, the rain, not having rained is helping our landfill. We're expecting one more good month of good numbers. If it is, and we come off of that monthly inspections and go back to a quarterly inspection.
How is the landfill looking for a way of, I'm sure we're not getting much grass growing up there, or weeds or whatever, so are we looking at?
We had it mowed and it looked good. We'll probably mow it one more time this year just to finish it off for the end of the year. The EPD was in and inspected it earlier this summer, and other than a couple of items like they wanted a new sign put up and stuff like that, they were impressed and they were happy with it.
Has anybody checked I know we went there and looked at it here a couple weeks ago, that behind the courthouse with the pond and the land, is all that?
That is on schedule with the gentleman that I'm going to check with on the
Okay.
silt fencing. He's going to be doing both of those.
Okay, all right. Anything else?
Just something I'm curious about. How do we do reappraisals of property? Do we do so many a year, or what's the system on that?
That is usually handled by Stephanie or somebody in the tax assessors. I think they have a percentage, but I wouldn't be able to answer that.
They used to, if I remember back when I first took office, they used to do it in thirds. Of course, as you know, that's a tax assessor's office and the tax collector's office is not in our purview.
Right.
They're a separate entity altogether. But I have no, I'm assuming they still do it in thirds, but I'm not sure.
Third this year, so.
Yeah.
I just thought you might know.
Yeah.
I think so.
Maybe that's why Roy's not here now.
Well, I figure Roy or Stephanie normally show up, but neither one of them's here, so at this time.
Thanks.
Jerry, you got anything? No. Mr. Nicholson?
All right, on EMA front, we have completed 90% of revamping the EOC office with new computers and new furniture, because it had always been a mix of hodgepodge and whatever we could round up. Now we got new stuff. Fire and EMS has been teaching classes this week, so next week we should totally finish it. I talked to the IT guy yesterday afternoon about getting it all hooked up, and this new IT guy had been available and had worked in the Douglas County EMA as well as Cobb County, so he sort of understood when I told him what we needed. And on special projects, the bid package started today for bidders to pick up to build for the new building for Public Works. So it went out on the state website today also, so. That'll have a pre-bidders meeting on the 14th, and then on the 24th at 4 o'clock, we'll open up the bids and see who is awarded the bid.
All right?
Is it I'm sorry,
Go
is it
ahead.
mandatory pre-bid?
Yes.
Is it mandatory?
The pre-bid is mandatory. If you don't do that, then you can't bid.
If you don't come to the pre-bid meeting, your bid will be thrown out. Because we don't wanna have 3 or 4 weeks down the road, we don't wanna have 100 extra questions, and they need to bring it, gonna handle to that point. Follow up on a few things. I know Philip's not here, he's working on some other stuff, head of the water department, but his crew with the brine, how is that coming for
It
winter
looked real good when I checked on it yesterday. They're just about totally finished. I met with Amico Electric, showing them where to put the pole yesterday. So that's going on, and we should have the brine tank to take care of Henderson Mountain and Jerusalem Road installed by the end of the month and ready before bad weather.
When are we gonna start stocking the brine solution?
We've already started. We had to update. The guy from Wisconsin showed up on Monday and revamped all of our stuff, made sure everything is working order. We're fixing to order, Kim and I and Philip, 3 new brine spreaders that fit in pickups. That way it'll make it easier to do nursing homes and hospitals and stuff like that without slinging it everywhere. This is just better. We got this idea from Big Canoe.
Yeah.
We looked at the equipment they had and it just, we need this bad, so.
We're getting any more questions about any other entities wanting to buy the
Hadn't heard
brine from
anything.
us?
We reached an agreement with Big Canoe, TOA, signed all that stuff, so it's ready.
Okay,
So when Toby, they've already ordered their stuff, but once they get their tank ready, then we'll go fill it up for them.
all right. City of Jasper requesting anything this
Haven't
time?
heard it this time.
And Kusawati and LJ, heard anything Kusawati and
Not this
LJ?
time.
They'll be calling, I'm
They will.
sure.
First
Okay.
time it gets cold, they will.
They didn't.
Well, that's up to them. If they can get here with their trucks and there's ice on the road, that'd be their
But all our stuff is up and running, the guy checked it out.
And you've got the price, you guys got the prices already worked out, what we're gonna charge for the brine? Okay. All right, I'm not, and let me clarify that with the video and the paper here. Pickens County's not here to retail sell brine
No.
solution. We're here to help communities that need some, and we're not here to make money on it. We're here, I'm not gonna sell it to them and not break even. But this is for the citizens of Pickens County and to help us get around on our roads, and if the DOT needs a little help with theirs. But
And they all understand that our needs come first.
that's correct. Pickens County needs will come first. And also, follow-up question on generators. Are we having, other than the sheriff's department, I think we got that one laid to rest, because I think the insurance company has settled with the sheriff's department getting that generator replaced with the jail. But any other issues we're having with water department, road department, with generators, backup generators, anything for this coming winter?
Everything's working fine. The new generators are hung up in Washington waiting on FEMA signatures.
Okay, we got, what, 4 up there waiting?
I got 5 up there waiting and I got 3 waiting at the state level.
Okay.
So we got a total of 8 out there right now.
Have anybody, once they get signed off, if and when they get signed off, once they get signed off, anybody got any delivery time, delivery dates, or when can we put it out for bids, or?
The minute they tell me, they
Okay.
give me a letter, email the first of the month, and it was yesterday. They're still in limbo in Washington.
Okay,
But
All right.
everything's ready to do the package out for bid as soon as that happens.
okay,
The specs and all that, so yeah.
all right. Ms. Fay, on the finances, I guess the only thing you had was budget hearings?
Yes, what you have is the updated budget meeting schedule. And the budgets, I've received most of the budget requests. There are a few departments that I haven't received yet, but I'll get that done next week. And we'll get this advertised in the paper and on our website. That's about, I did want to say, I think y'all got a notice that the tax digest was approved by the Department of Revenue.
Yeah.
So that's good news. That's it, that's about it.
All right. Anybody got any questions? Ms. Lisa?
No,
All right. Just a quick note, and if y'all would please get this to our other department heads and other elected officials. We have been working on for the last 3 or 4 months a 3-minute training video on fishing for I think EXP and Critical Path are the 2 entities we got that are contracted with Pickens County to monitor anybody coming in, what other cities and states are dealing with. They have done a good job here in Pickens County. But that being said, these 3-minute training videos have got to be done for the department heads and for the elected officials to be sure that they don't open up an email that could cause us all problems. That's part of the training process. And that has got to happen. And I have given orders to Critical Path as well as the EXP to monitor who has and hasn't completed the 3-minute training video on phishing, PHISING, I believe is how they do that, for letting contaminated malware such as that come into the system. I expect that to be done within the next 30 to 45 days. If not, the commissioners will make a decision on how we want to direct what we're going to do with these department heads. We won't have any control over the other elected officials, but we do have control over our department heads to get trained. And if it means that only computer access they will have is the off and on button, so be it. But this has got to be done. And we are making it a recommendation that that I don't want, it's hard enough to keep track of it anyway, but I'd rather not have a notice on my desk saying so-and-so goofed and let something come in. Accidents I know can happen, but we're doing our best to control it. We haven't had any issues, thank God, and we are trying to be a little proactive instead of reactive on this stuff as we go forward.
Excuse me, is the training online?
The training is it's a 3-minute video online, and it'll cover. There's what?
It's a series.
It's a series of 3-minute videos. You take one this week, maybe one next week, maybe one this week, and we've been doing it for over a month now. And I just had a meeting with our 2 entities, and the percentages of individuals taking it is very low, and it's unacceptable. We're going to have to kick it up a notch.
Have you sent out the link, how we get online
Oh, yeah.
and take it?
All that's done. Mostly for our department heads. If we have we got a control issue that we've been monitoring pretty close with what's in house. Where you have a problem is when you have department heads or anything going outside of our server system, bringing in emails, bringing in JCPenney catalogs, whatever, bringing that stuff in that we try to monitor closely, not to have that happen because we're a government entity. But with all that stuff goes on, there's always somebody's got a tag on there of some ways, means, or fishing to get in there and break into your system. Once that ever happens, and it's Katie bar the door from that point. So we've been monitoring very closely, and it stays pretty tight on what we're doing here. So I just want to be sure that these training videos have we got to stay on top of it. I have, anybody got any other?
I have a couple of things to mention.
Oh, I'm sorry, Paul, I didn't know, I slipped over you, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Public, human resource.
I'm just gonna let everybody know about the flu clinic. I've sent out flyers and it's next Thursday at 10 o'clock. I'm sorry, October the 10th at 8:30, and we've had several people sign up. I've already sent the forms in, but if anybody else wants to come, just go ahead and bring your form in and I'll get it to them. And one thing is our retirement company, as of October the 1st, they've changed their name from GEBCOR to ACCG Retirement Services. All the same personnel, everything's the same, just the name has changed and their email addresses. And I'm working with
Their email address has changed also?
They have. And I can give y'all a list of all that.
Okay.
And I'm working with Phil, as you know, on the ordinance, and I give y'all some papers on it. What it is if we have an employee and we have to do a routine background check. Right now, we do that through the sheriff's office. But if something were to come back inconclusive and they couldn't verify that, we would need to go further and do a fingerprint check. To do that, we have to get an ORI, which is an originating agency identifier. And I found out through the GBI and talking with someone in the sheriff's office that there has to be an ordinance in place, so I'm working with Phil on that. And that's pretty much it.
You hearing anything, I think the retirement deal we pretty well got laid to rest. You hearing any more, anything coming up with health insurance, anything?
Matt is supposed to get with me next week. He's getting some numbers nailed down. And he's had to go really back and forth with Blue Cross Blue Shield. But he's been working with them and he's hoping to have some good news. And open enrollment, we're looking at that for the November around the 20th.
Okay, all right.
What is the date on the ones taking the early retirement? What's the date that they will sign off on that?
It opens up November 1st, and the latest date that they can sign up, because there is a 7-day revocation period, is December 16th. So basically, it's the months of November and December. But we actually, I checked with Phil, and we actually have a benefits council, a group of attorneys, it's more their expertise. So they're actually doing the paperwork for us, and we should have that, we'll have it available to everybody on that list by November 1st.
All right, any further questions before we go into our next meeting? Okay. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, this meeting is now over.